This is one delivery that has definitely excited me. I ordered this only a week ago and it's already arrived. Very grateful that I got it so quickly. But I placed this order, as I mentioned in my last video, off the back of the discovery of the Combi system. It's a system that gives me the ability to be able to store more tools in less space because of the Combi system and only having one engine and the accessories to go with it. So yeah, great suggestion from my gardener. Really pleased that I've picked it up and we're going to crack it out, and maybe even today might get a chance to use it. The weather is playing with us. It's really cloudy at the moment. Looks like it might rain, but fingers crossed it doesn't. I'm going to be going out there regardless because I've hired the rotavator and aerator, which need to be done today because I have them until tomorrow. So no excuses, rain or shine, I'm getting out in the garden. It might mean that I get an opportunity to have a little play around with this as well. So I'm gonna quickly open it, take a look, show you what's inside. So right here is the engine itself. So this is the main part of the tool. For anybody that has been looking at Stihl Combi systems, this is the 131R. There's a few different variations. I couldn't tell you what the different variations are. I think it's to do with the handles, the age, maybe the technology, but this is the 131R. Smells so good. Instructions. Body harness. Oh, it smells amazing. Come on. Lovely. Tools to assemble or disassemble. Handle, also known as a set loop handle. And the main event. Get out of there, boy. Oh, there she is. Lovely. Oh yes. So this is where attachments are obviously placed. I'm guessing the system has a rotary motor in here. That means that whatever head or attachment you put on, as you tighten it up, locks into place. Bob's your uncle, someone's your aunt, and you have a different tool in your hands, but it's actually pretty light, which I like. These aren't the sort of things you want to be lugging around all day long, but the odd hour here and there, happy days. Now the first attachment I'm going to open, possibly the most dangerous as well, is the chainsaw. I think they call it a pruning cutter or something, but it's a chainsaw. You have to be so careful when using these because they are very unforgiving. I'm sure there's a few of you out there that have got some stories to tell, or some people that you know that have had some incidents with chainsaws. You do not mess around with a chainsaw. Tool. So this right here is where the oil goes, so it feeds the chain with oil to keep it lubricated. So this right here is the chain itself, the attachment pole, the guard. Oh no, sorry, this is the head. This is the chain. Next up, this is probably the most common attachment I'm going to be using. This is the hedge trimmer. So I'll be using this on the box hedging, on the red robins, and a hell of a lot in the woodland as well. So there we have it here, in all her glory. So this is actually an adjustable head on it. So this little mechanism here gives me the ability to change the angle of the trimmer head. So if there's any tight angles you need to get into, it just makes it a lot easier whilst holding the engine in the most comfortable position. Lovely. I did purchase a leaf blower probably about a year ago, and it was a battery powered and it wasn't great. So when I saw this system had a leaf blower attachment on it, I was like, I need that in my life. Looks like a space shuttle. Last but not least, the hedge trimmer, guard, pole and head. safety goggles. They even give you some safety goggles. I like that still. Nice touch. And there we have it. Bosch. Well, I've just spent the last half an hour assembling these pieces so you can see how they look. So as stated, strimmer, chainsaw, blower, engine, harness and edge trimmer. So they all now need to be filed away nicely, and eventually they will have a permanent home, but at the minute I just need to work out where to put them. 2-stroke engine oil and the oil for the chainsaw picked up as well. I made sure that I brought the steel stuff to make sure that it has the correct product in it. Kept the instructions on the tools in a bag. And I come with bad news. I've just been on the phone to the company that I'm hiring the aerator and rotavator off of. It said that they were going to deliver between 8 and 12, and I was a bit like, 12 is almost half a day and you're paying for a full day. Well, I'm paying for 2 days, which means that if they drop it off at 12 and then they collect it again the next day at midday, you really only got a day, working day that is. So I felt like that was a little bit, I don't know, I wasn't sure about that, but I'm sure it reflects in the price. It wasn't too badly priced. So I didn't say anything, put the order in, got to 12 o'clock, I was like, still not here. Give them 10 minutes, nothing. 12:30, I phoned up and I said to the guy, just chasing my order, still nothing here. I'm paying for people to be here to help do this as well. I've got gardeners here, it's gonna help aerate the lawn, and he's standing around twiddling his thumbs. And he was like, really sorry mate, don't know why they told you that you could have an aerator. I haven't had one of those in ages. Keep on trying to cancel the orders. And I was like, so you've not got an aerator for me? He was like, no. I was like, great. I was like, is the rotavator any close? And he was just like, no, the driver's out at the minute, I'm not sure he's gonna get back. I was like, great. So I've got a guy waiting to do some work and I'm waiting to do some work in the garden with these tools that we need. And you've not got one of them in stock and the other one is currently in your warehouse and your driver's out doing other jobs. Yeah, okay. Let me call you back. I was just like, okay, no problem. Still haven't heard anything and it's been about an hour. So pretty disappointed. I won't be naming them. But very ironic, the name of the company and the service that I'm receiving. But anyway, fingers crossed that we do at least get the rotavator. It's a lot of stuff to do if they're not going to be delivering it until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because I need to be shutting up shop at 4 today. So yeah, really disappointed. Really was looking forward to getting out there. I've also got 6 ton bags of soil on the drive, which I don't particularly want to sit for too long. I'm sure it will be fine, but it is kind of outside. So if it gets really wet, I don't know if that's going to cause issues with the clumpiness. So yeah, I feel very let down right now, which is one of those things. Worse things can happen, I know, but it has really put a spanner in the works for today. I'll have to just see when I can get around to doing it. I have got an opportunity to get out in the garden tomorrow, which I'll take. So it may be a case that I just do it on my own tomorrow, but I'm not gonna get an aerator, which is sad because I was really hoping to push the grass ahead. I wanna put a treatment down on it, the second feed, but I wanted to aerate it first. So I'm just gonna have to, yeah, keep my fingers crossed and hope that the rotavator turns up very quickly, but I think I'm being hopeful. Well, right at the very end of the day, it's currently about 3:15. You'll see we've got the rotavator. It's quite a beast. Been playing around trying to work out how it actually works because it's a little bit, what's the word, temperamental. So it's not very clear. There's quite a lot of buttons and levers that you need to utilize to make it run, and for some reason it was just running off every time I stuck down the blades into the soil, and I think it's because I wasn't allowing them to coast over. I was pushing too hard down. So I think I've cracked it, and we're going to be rotavating this side of the greenhouse and that side of the greenhouse. And if I can get that done in an hour, I will be very, very happy. But because I am short of time, I need to be ready for dinner this evening with Lids for her birthday. Me and Ben, who's currently just going to sweep out the gravel from the mud area, are working hard to try and get this little section done as quickly as possible.
the soil has well and truly been turned over. This was rock hard earlier. I have to say the machine's a little bit of a beast, does a very good job. You can see we've got quite deep. Something around here, look at that. Nice and loose soil, just what the doctor ordered. So my plan is to rake all this over level, seed, sugar beet topsoil, seed, rake in the seed. Got a runaway sausage. You right, my boy? Then we should have best opportunity for grass growth. Hello, hello. But unfortunately, that is all I'm going to be getting done today because time is ticking and I need to get packed up, showered, ready for this evening's dinner. So I haven't achieved what I wanted to, but as you know, that's purely just because I didn't get the bit of kit until 3 o'clock this afternoon. But had a good stab at it and got a fair amount turned over. I think if I'd have had more time, I probably would have been a little bit more methodical with where I was going, and I probably would have gone over it a little bit more as well. I still have an opportunity, like I said, tomorrow to have a crack at it, but I do want to do some other areas in the garden, so it just depends what time I get now. As long as that greenhouse area is done and we get good grass growth, that's what I'm bothered about. I'm gonna stick all this stuff away and then get ready to go out for our first meal out since lockdown. Well, it is another glorious day. Porter's chasing the pheasants again. You tell him, boy. Ferocious beast. And the guys still have not arrived to pick up the rotavator, so I'm going to take full advantage of that and I'm going to continue my mission to turn over as much soil as possible before that goes back. Like I said yesterday, didn't get quite done everything I wanted to, so I'm going to continue on with that task until they come and collect it today at some point, which I'm hoping that they don't and they collect it on Monday. It's another day in the garden for me and one step closer to getting this seed in. You've never had a summer, have you, mate? You've never had a summer. Also, we found that there's been a mouse that's got in through this little hole. So I put a humane mouse trap down in the corner with a little bit of food in it to try to catch it. It's obviously got in during the building works. Lumi must have brought it in, went into the units and is using this hole. It's come in and out and it's been helping itself to the rice and pasta, the veg. It's been going through our stuff, so I've taken the food out and we're gonna have to chuck a lot of stuff away, I think, but I'll keep you updated on the mouse catcher. Wow, I have been rotavating the garden and I got a little bit carried away for probably about 2 hours. My hands physically ache because of all of the vibrations and resistance on the machine, but that is an absolute beast. I took it into the woodlands behind where the beehive is. It's rock solid there. It's full of rubble and everything, and that was just getting through it. Not easily. I was having to really work hard to keep the machine under control, but it got through it. So I thought I'm actually gonna have to take you on a little tour as to everywhere that I've been rotavating, because like I said, I extended the area that I decided to rotivate. So first up, this section here of grass, which it looks like I took out more than I did. I was going over the areas where the old trees used to be that have been repositioned. See 2 of them at the back there, and I think I mentioned it a while ago that the cherry blossoms in there, but Lids thinks we need to think about moving it to here because it gets more sunlight, and it didn't blossom as nicely as I was hoping, although it did blossom. So I have to rake all this over, as I do with all of the rest of the sections. Lids has now decided that she's going to make this a bit of a flower area where she's going to have some flowers. So good to know, because I'm obviously not going to seed grass over it necessarily. I have to check that with her. But as we walk around the side, you'll see that this is now all been rotavated. All of the mud has had the rotavator run over it. So I just noticed that there was quite a lot of patches in some of the sections. So you can just see just here, it's just a little bit dry. It was really dry in certain areas, so I kept what I could of the greenery and I rotavated what I needed to, just to try to promote and prompt some kind of growth again, let the soil drain correctly and give the seeds and the wildflower the best chance of growing as possible. So again, just took it around this section. Now this was game changing, because I'm not sure how many of you remember that this area was actually just rubble kind of soil. It was really thick and dense, and I've just been running the rotavator over it and it looks 10 times better already, and I've not even raked it yet. So I'm obviously going to be raking and feathering that back down, making it all level and smooth, but really happy with how that's coming along. It just adds a nice gradient to this section of the garden, which is less dangerous if people decide to walk down it. It just sort of blends itself nicely into the woodlands, with the hope that the wildflower and growth will start to creep back up again. At the minute, we'll probably just chuck some seeds down and some wildflower seeds as well, just to try and give it a little extra bump. If we take a walk over to, well, around the fire pit area, as you can see, actually I've also rotavated all around here just to clean it up a little bit. I need to clean my fire pit up loads, and I also need to move the 2 benches back, or just get 2 new benches, because these weren't supposed to be permanent and they've just been permanent. They're a little bit too close, they need to be moved further away because it gets far too hot when you're sitting on them. But Lids has actually found some really nice benches that we could potentially put there, so that's still to be decided. We'll go down the walk to the beehive. So we go through the back. This is where I'm thinking of putting all of the wildflower, and this was just really rock hard soil that was super dry. If I show you just as an example, what you're seeing here, this is the sort of quality of soil that we were working with, super dry, cracked, very clayey, and the rotavator has just obliterated it. And it's now not very fine, but it's really loose, got really deep with those blades now. So there was a little bit of wildflower that was growing here, so I kept that patch, just went around it, but I just loosened it all up. So really happy, and I feel like that was a good investment getting the rotavator, and I've managed to get it all done before they've come and collected it, so all is well. The idea is to have wildflower along the back here, all along the back, putting the high wildflower furthest away and then the smaller ones at the front. Let the natural woodland wildflower continue to grow in as it is, and then as we come around the beehive, more wildflower around this section as well, and hopefully this will all just be green with the stands, the beehive and the logs. So it'll be back to looking like a woodland like it does over there, hopefully in a year or two. So Lids has just been potting some plants in the greenhouse. I thought they looked very nice. And if you look just behind those little 5 spikes you see, that's an aloe vera plant. Very kindly gifted from my videographer Sam Sutterlin. His dad, I think he specialises in plants, and he's got a passion for it, and he has lots of really great aloe vera plants, so he very kindly brought one over. It's looking lovely in the greenhouse. Lids has been very busy. As you can see, I love that trug. It's really cool. Just have the flowers in there as well, it's lovely. But Liz is currently laying out how she wants the plants. So do you want me to not, is this supposed to all now be a bed?
Yeah.
So this won't get seeded?
No.
Oh. But how big are these plants going to get?
Well, I think quite big.
Really?
Yeah. This is big. I've only just started.
Okay.
So I'm getting these in the ground. This is gypsum.
Are we going to have like climbing roses archway entrance?
We can do. I know that we talked about that. But I'm just going to get these in the ground and sort of start to get an understanding of where
things go. Do you think you're going to have like trees and stuff in here then? So it's not going to be high and big. Don't you want it to be, you don't want to see soil really, do you?
No. So that's what I'm hopefully doing, but I'm going to put little wildflower seeds. But I'll keep adding to it. I personally think that these should be the cut flower beds and this should be grass. And then we have the veg patch.
So what, as in line it off like a square?
Yeah.
So I need to get a spade and maybe...
Yeah, I'd even put like...
a sleeper in or something.
well, just some of that wood that we had.
There.
Yeah.
That.
Is that what that is? What you've edged this bit with?
No. That's this is just edging board.
Right.
Would you want just edging board? You want something to sort of like give yourself a bit of a line to mow up to, I guess.
Yeah.
Or you could just, you know, use a spade and cut an edge in.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
No.
Is it? Wow. The plan changes minute to minute around here.
Well, it's just, I'd like this kind of area to be my area where I get to like learn, and I
Yeah.
know nothing about growing flowers. Like, this is something that is completely new to me. So I'm like, literally every plant I pick up, I'm like Googling, how big does it get? How much space does it need?
You definitely got the right soil for them all, yeah?
Oh yeah, this is great soil
Okay.
for it.
Do you do know that I've got topsoil to put on this still?
Right.
I've also just realised that I hadn't actually referenced last night's dinner. We went to Woburn Mosaic, which is a cheese and wine restaurant and also art gallery that Lids and I attend quite frequently, but obviously because of lockdown we haven't been for quite some time, so we thought we'd book in there for Lydia's birthday. First meal back, enjoying some hospitality, and it was an absolute beautiful evening. Food was phenomenal, company was great, and the drinks were flowing. I've only actually had 4 hours sleep, which is not a lot, but I feel surprisingly fresh, so not complaining. But I'm going to stick you on a tripod quickly, get this raked over, and try and get some of the topsoil down so Lids can get cracking with her new flower bed. You helping mummy?
Where's Lummy gone? Did she leave?
When you stop, he starts.
Go team! My go.
That's so funny.
No, don't push it back in. Oh, I might need you to dig this out. It's quite deep.
You're using the wrong thing, really. You want to get a spade on that. If I'm honest. So just a little quick update, as you can see, we've now got the grass seeds down. Just about to run a rake over these, maybe sprinkle a little bit more soil over the top. Lids is hard at work, doing the bed still. Porter, the assistant. The camera cut off when I was outside earlier, so I don't know where I got to, but we have had a very long, hard day in the garden. I'm actually amazed I only had 4 hours sleep.
I know. Actually, like, do you know what? I thought I was going to feel a lot worse today, but I just think
I feel
the
okay.
garden.
Sunshine,
Yeah.
it's amazing. But the rustling you can hear is because I feel like we've worked to earn this. But we've got a takeaway Chinese, which is a takeaway at the moment that I'm absolutely loving. I hadn't had one in probably about a year and a half, 2 years. And then one night we just was like, let's just have a Chinese. And so we did. And we order the same thing every time. We're gonna tuck into this. Both of us are absolutely shattered. but it was an amazing day in the garden. And what I'm going to do is tomorrow or on Monday, I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to go and show you what I did at the end of the day, because I didn't actually end up vlogging the finished area when I put it all back together and seeded it and raked it, etc. So I'll do that when I next pick up the camera. Also, I just nearly forgot, little mouse update. No mouse. We woke up this morning. The latch is up. And we have our pasta loving mouse. Who got her? Or him? Get in there. Get in there, little mousey. Lids. Yeah, can you open the front door for me? Please. Yeah, okay. I want to be free. So this is how you keep the mouse alive.
Oh, little
pasta lover.
Pasta mouse.
I appreciate it isn't presented at the normal Michelin star chef level that I'm known for delivering. However, this is what breakfast has been looking like every morning for as long as I can remember. We've got the spinach, 2 eggs, Ken's peppercorn sauce, 2 slices of bread, coffee, no sugar, and a kiwi. Well, firstly, you must excuse the state of my bedroom. But I'm jumped on this morning, and for a change, I'm wearing normal clothes. Normally see me in joggers. And that is because we're heading to a farmer's market. I think it's an outdoor market where you can go and buy loads of local produce. So I've not been before. I've heard good things about it. So Liz and I are going to head over, and that isn't something on my face, that's something on my mirror. What's that? So anyway, we're going to be heading to that market this morning. I'm currently dressed to be outside, so I've got layers on, but in our house it's very hot, so I'm sweating buckets. But very pleased to have saved the mouse this morning and got that out of our cupboard, because I think we were going to be running dry of food because it was getting through everything. For some reason, mice are fascinating with chewing packaging. It's almost like when they get inside, it's like the chase is done, they're over, and they move on to the next. But also something that I haven't spoken about on my channel for a little while, but I do get comments every now and then, blood pressure. I brought myself a blood pressure tester or monitor yesterday. It arrived yesterday, should I say, and I ran a test last night and my blood pressure is back down to normal levels, which is fantastic. I now have that, so if I'm ever concerned or if I ever get noises in my ears or I feel like I'm getting high blood pressure, I can just run a test. So yeah, all is good in that department, so thanks for checking in. Seems to have been sort of fixed just from lifestyle changes, so making sure I get more sleep, changing my diet, and being a bit more realistic with the tasks that I try to undertake, because I do take on too much and I do put myself under too much pressure unnecessarily. I like to be busy and I like to have things to do, but sometimes my time management is a little bit out. So yeah, something I've been working on, and I think that that's contributed to making me feel a little bit more zen. But anyway, we need to get going because the market's just about to open, so let's go.
Well, the market was lovely. We didn't get as much time there as we were hoping for because we needed to get back, but we did pick up a few little bits, including a very delicious loaf of bread. But I wanted to quickly jump outside before I wrapped up this video and show you where I have got to in the garden, because I've been very busy raking away, and I've also purchased some seeds and, as you know, the British sugar soil. So I'm going to spin your camera around. I'm going to show you what I've been getting up to and the plans moving forward. So I'm sorry if the audio sounds funny, but as you can see off the back of the rear garden, I've now raked down all of what was essentially
rubble and soil mixed together. I went over it with the rotavator, as you know, and I've now raked it down, so it just looks a lot tidier. It's a lot safer as well. As I've mentioned before, we want the wildflower to grow up, but I might chuck some seed down, both wildflower and grass. Again, this area here needs to be seeded, but it's all nicely raked through. And I raked over all of the area around the fire pit. I also raked over all of the area around the greenhouse again. It's really windy out here, so I'm sorry, but I've also raked over the area out the back of the beehive. Hello, boy. So sorry, it's probably really windy out here, but as I was saying, raked over all of the area that was rotavated. Got everything levelled out quite nicely, ready for the topsoil. This area has had the topsoil and seed put on it. I've been watering it quite a lot, so it has sort of settled down a little bit bumpy again, but it was even when I'd put it on. I also raised this level around the manhole cover as well, because I kept on clipping it with the lawnmower, the ride-on, so that shouldn't happen now. But yeah, I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed and hope that the grass germinates, but I've given it my best shot. I've taken the advice and applied it to the best of my ability. So we'll keep an eye on it. But of course I'll update you on the grass progress. It's probably on the line as to whether the weather's suitable for it to germinate. You need the ground to be warm. You need to make sure that it's staying watered, which I have been doing, but we haven't had actual rain. So I think next week we are due a fair amount of rain. So fingers crossed that I can get some seed down today around some of the larger areas and allow nature to do its thing for me. And before you know it, we'll have a nice built up area full of wildflower and grass. I've had to come inside to talk to you because it's so windy out there. I'm assuming that the audio is going to be terrible. Basically, in a nutshell, the process has started, taken the advice from the professionals. I've also ordered myself a load more seed, like 700 square meters worth of grass seed, for both shady areas and the areas that I was just showing you then. So fingers crossed, in a couple of months we'll have some grass growth a little bit more than I have achieved to date. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a great week so far, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Peace.